So I don't know if I'm one of the only people that has seen this show, but Superman and Lois is an awesome show, and I'm really surprised because the CW usually makes some pretty average shows. I think they're average that people seem to love, or like a core group, I guess, of people seem to really love them, and I feel like they're really like soap opera. It's very like, sorry, let's start again. They are very much like a soap opera. However, Superman and Lois is not like that. I mean, it's a drama, right? Like it's got to be kind of like that, but it's just really good. Like the cinematography is fantastic. Like it looks like a movie, which is kind of surprising because the CW shows tend to look very much like their TV shows. But anyway, that's enough comparisons to the other CW shows. Let's just talk about Superman and Lois. So the cinematography is fantastic. I love the color grading. It kind of looks a lot like Man of Steel, which I feel like there was a lot of heavy influences on the kind of sort of on the tone or on just in general. Really, really good. So like the sound is great. It just looks it's a really nice looking show. And it didn't really need to be because it's Superman, I guess, but they seem to be trying really hard. What have we got? The cast is excellent. But before I want to get into that, I think we'll talk about Superman. So Tyler Hoechlin, who plays Superman, was in the Supergirl show, which I haven't seen. I've maybe seen like little clips online. But I remember seeing him in that show and I was like, he looks okay, he looks average. But in this show, he's really good. He kind of, I don't know, he's just like, because I thought Henry Cavill was my favourite Superman, but after watching Superman and Lois, I'm like, I actually think Tyler Hoechlin might be a better Superman. And that's saying something. I think the characterization of Superman in this show is so well done that I can kind of see why people didn't like Henry Cavill and say that the Zack Snyder Superman isn't very much like Superman, and I do get that after watching Superman and Lois. Like Tyler Hoechlin's Superman is he's kind of wholesome, but he's like there's stuff to him. He's not just like he's more complicated than just like a goody two shoes, but he still is kind of a goody two shoes. But it's done really well, and I don't know. It's just really good, and like some of the things that I really like about the show is the overarching plot is quite good. Like you can watch the first season and get an actual story out of it. It does have a reasonably satisfying conclusion. Things have payoffs. The action, firstly, you always see him in the suit every episode, multiple times. There'll be at least one piece of action in each episode. The CGI is actually not bad. Like, yeah, sure, it's a TV budget, but considering that you're getting him in the suit doing stuff every episode, it looks pretty good. Like, I think you can cut the show some slack for that because it looks good. The suit looks really good. I don't think it looks better than Man of Steel or BVS, that costume, but it's not bad. There is the odd thing when he lifts up his arms, the shoulders, you can tell they're padded, but the dude, he's pretty jacked. But they have bulked him up to look a bit more, superhero proportioned. Yeah, really, really impressed with that. What else? The side characters are interesting. Like everyone's kind of got something going on. Let me back up a bit. So the show is set. Superman's been Superman for a while now. He's got a couple kids. They're teenagers, and going into the show I was like, oh no, it's going to be one of those like teen drama kind of shows. But it's kind of like, I describe it like, because I thought Smallville was actually quite good. There's a lot of teen drama in that. It's kind of that quality but done better. The teenagers they're not annoying. They've kind of got stuff going on that's actually kind of interesting, like the school side of stuff. It's not like a main focus, but it's actually reasonably interesting. Like they've got their own shit going on, especially when one of the sons starts manifesting powers like Superman, which is so that becomes like a thing where he's got to like control it, and like he'll be playing football American football, and Clark Kent's there, like being a teacher, coach, the assistant coach, and he's got to kind of keep the son from like, overpowering all the other teenagers in that. Just kind of cool little things like that. I know that kind of sounds dumb, but it's done really well. What else? The show's called Superman and Lois, and Lois actually has interesting stuff in it. It's not one of those like girl power shows. Like she does actually just do stuff because she's like competent. Like she can do stuff. It's not like we've got to give her this thing to do. Like it's kind of interesting. Like she's got her own life dramas. Superman's got his. You've got the her dad is in the military, so he's got to weigh up like, is Superman a threat? Like what, he's kind of, it's kind of this complicated relationship with the dad trying to like, he knows Superman is a human, but then he's like, is this guy actually going to turn bad? Because there's like a thing at the start where this guy comes from an alternate reality where Superman turned evil. So you kind of find out why that happened, and it's actually not that bad. Like it's actually a pretty good storyline. Like I know a lot of things are doing the whole Superman is evil, but it's actually, they pull it off really well. It's not, there is a twist to it. It's not just straightforward like he's just wants to become bad. Like it's actually, I won't spoil anything, but it's worth checking out. And like I said, it does have a payoff, and it is one complete story. I think some of the designs are really cool. Like the kryptonite side of stuff is interesting. It's got like, I'm trying to think, it was like a weird like, kind of like Man of Steel, but just a bit different. Like kind of like weird like metal that kind of like, I can't even think off the top of my head. I can't explain it in words, but it does look cool. What else? The cast is great. Like I said, all the acting's pretty good. I think one of the brothers kind of he takes a little bit to become likable, but then he's not too bad. Even like the side characters like Lana Lang and her husband, and their daughter goes to school with Superman's kids, and they're actually interesting. Like they've got their own stuff going on. He's like I think he's a fireman, and there's like kind of drama with him and his wife, and there's this guy that kind of comes to town, and he's like trying to give people jobs, and like people don't like trust him, but because he's like this big billionaire guy and stuff, but kind of got some real world parallels and stuff. But it's done. There's no it's just a good, the whole season is just a good TV show. Interesting drama, a little bit of melodrama every now and then, but not too bad. There's no kind of like modern day politics in it, if you know what I mean. It's just like, remember how TV shows kind of used to be? Like maybe when Smallville came out, there's none of that. It's just focused on the TV. There's no like trying to push any politics or anything in people's faces, which I really appreciate. Because that's often the case with a lot of Netflix shows and that. But yeah, it's just good, and also it's kind of refreshing to see, like Superman and Lois and the two boys. That like Superman's not divorced. They're kind of like, I don't want to say a wholesome family because I don't really like wholesome, like cheesy, but they kind of, in a way, they are. Like there is a bit of that, like you feel good seeing them on TV because they're not. It's not like a depressing, like, you know what I mean? Like no drama. Like they're not going to get divorced. There's no like, no one's tried to like overdose on anything, or it's just they're just a family and they have their ups and downs, but at the end of the day, they're still there for each other, and it's good. It's cool. You don't really see that on TV you don't see that on TV much these days. Everything's kind of, there's always like some big negative in the family, you know what I mean? So in that respect, it's really good. It's refreshing. It's just good, and they don't kind of like, because it's in the Midwest of America, I think. The Midwest kind of, I guess lately he's sort of been having this kind of like negative attitude towards it, and the show doesn't kind of like point fingers and go, oh, but these people are whatever, this and that. They're just people trying to get on with life in small town America, and it definitely works. There's some cool flashbacks with Lana Lane. Lois Lane. Sorry, with Lois Lane and Superman, like how they got together. And also, I tell you what, I think she, what's her name? Bitsy Tulloch, maybe. She is probably the best Lois Lane that I've seen. I think she's really good. She's strong. She's just, I don't know. She's just a really good Lois Lane, and she works really well with Tyler Hoechlin, who's surprisingly young. He's like only like 33, maybe. And she's like older, so but he doesn't look that young, which is kind of it's interesting. He's probably, to be fair, that kind of like he's probably too young to have kids that age, but I don't know. He kind of pulls it off. Anyway, bit of a ramble there, a little bit incoherent, but if you want to see a good TV show that has a payoff after one season, it kind of wraps itself up reasonably nicely after one season. Nothing like, it's kind of, I don't want to say real wholesome. It's not cheesy, but it's sort of got a feel good quality to it. You get to see Superman being Superman in an interesting way. You've got interesting characters. Even the ones that aren't him, they're still all interesting. Like, I wanted to know about the other people in the town, which is kind of weird considering, if you really like Smallville back in the day, you'll probably like this. I definitely recommend it. It's one of the best TV shows I've seen in a while. That's not like highbrow stuff, you know what I mean? I definitely recommend it. Even if you're not a huge Superman fan, I think there's something to enjoy for a lot of people. Phew. Anyway, thanks for listening. Don't forget to comment below. Tell me what you think. Did you see the show? Did you like my rant on it? Check out some of my other videos as well. And keep watching. I'll have some new videos out soonish. Anyway, thanks guys. See you in the next video.